I'm being honest. I have not gotten over the way that the Baltimore Ravens, and I know it's about Saturday, and I'm going to tie it in, came to Levi's and did what they did, and they kind of tricked and baited Brock Purdy. Now, I mentioned the Savage pick, which should have been a pick six. There were two other throws that could have been picked off. So, FP, it wasn't a weather-related game then, but I had flashbacks of that game and how the Raven guys caught those interceptions in the end zone. So, moving forward, do you just chalk this up as they were tricking Brock too, or is this something Detroit, and possibly if they beat Detroit, you see that same Baltimore team or Kansas City? I say all that to say is I'm a little nervous now. He's not Jimmy Garoppolo. I wouldn't insult him like that. But now when he throws the ball, FP, I got to be honest, I haven't gotten over just Saturday like, oh, my gosh, that could have changed the fortune of the game. So where are you at? How do you just throw that out? Nothing to see here?
No, you don't throw that out. You absolutely embrace that. And I think so many times with Brock this weekend, he was throwing like 84-mile-an-hour fastballs. He wasn't spinning it. It wasn't coming out. And
He said spinning it.
He wasn't spinning it. And that's the way he looked early in the season when I didn't think his arm was fully healed yet. And it took his arm time. Because anytime you have a surgery, it takes about a year to the day where you just don't think about the surgery anymore. Because even if doctors are telling you everything's okay, you still have that doubt in the back of your head, like, can I let it rip?
Yeah.
Is it going to go? Is it going to blow? And then once you get past that, there was I remember Troy Aikman on one of the broadcasts saying, like, Brock Purdy told me his arm isn't 100% yet.
Why do I remember that?
And I was saying it before Troy Aikman said it on the air. And then I was like, why is Brock Purdy even telling Troy Aikman that? So now Troy Aikman's telling the world that. So now teams can break on balls and play underneath and undercut routes, and just because they know Brock Purdy's. I mean, you could see it. The velo wasn't there. He was not spinning it early in the season. Then all of a sudden his arm strength, I think with the bye week, after they lost three in a row, his arm strength, he needed that rest. He's like a pitcher. He needed that rest. Then he started spinning it, and he was making some throws. And I'm like, okay. But then Saturday was back to, maybe it's because of the weather.
Yeah, I got to believe the grip had something, or the lack of grip.
I was screaming from the first play, he's got a glove on. What's he got a glove on? And it took the broadcast, I don't know, a good half a quarter to figure it out. Aaron Andrews did a nice report on why he was wearing it, that he had worn it earlier, that the grip is an issue. But it was bothering me because, players will tell you, we got here because of this reason. I've heard speeches in the locker room hey, we got here, we're in the playoffs, don't change anything.
No doubt.
If you go out at night till 2 in the morning, go out at night till 2 in the morning. Don't all of a sudden get your 8 hours sleep. Because now, just what I'm saying is if say you just dye your hair because it's the playoffs. Now you're giving the playoffs more emphasis than they deserve. The reason Derek Jeter won all the rings is because he was just playing baseball games in October, where everybody else was playing playoff games.
Impressive.
We're in the playoffs. So if you do anything different from your routine for the postseason, you're giving the postseason way more credit than it deserves. Obviously, there's built-in pressure. Obviously, you know that you want to win a ring and that your season's on the line. It's lose or go home. But if you do anything that differentiates from what you did all season long, then you're telling everybody that, oh, God, I'm in the playoffs.
No doubt. And something's going, because the glove, before we grab film on Mike, it was symbolic. It let me know something was going on, and as you mentioned earlier, upstairs. Because you know what I mean? It was just, hey, some drizzle or whatnot. But when I saw the glove, I'm like, uh-oh, that might not. And then it didn't work out. Then he was ditching it. Then he had it back on. But when it was all said and done, the Niners are victorious 24-21. Let's go out to film on Mike. Let's see what he has to say. What's up, Mike, baby?
Hey, what's up with it, man?
Talk to us.
Yeah, for sure. Drew, I knew it wasn't going to be that close of a game. I don't think I gave a prediction last week, but I had a feeling it was going to be 38-10. But I just want to say this. We're looking at it, a lot of fans, to me, we're looking at it from the wrong perspective. I love that game. I love that game. And that's what you call complementary football. That was a team win. FP was talking about earlier, he said, man, when you're down and things are not going bad, you feel me? You have to lock in and you got to get it back. Well, football is a hard sport to do that. And you know why? Because 22 guys have to lock in. It ain't like basketball, Curry, LeBron. You feel me? And do that stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody got to be on the same accord. So that's a plus. That's a great thing. We won in the rain, okay? They said that was a problem. Purdy, Shanahan couldn't come back. They said that's a problem. So we keep overcoming all these barriers. Debo didn't play the whole game. They say, oh, we can't play with Debo. You got to throw a curveball. So all these things are going to prove that that's why we're ready to, you feel me, for the playoffs. That's why we're ready to win the Super Bowl, I feel. It's a good thing we went through this and we conquered it. Last point, narratives are a very weird thing. For whatever reason, the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes, they didn't get lucky with the missed field goal from dude in the fourth quarter. Oh, Mahomes is this. Mahomes is that.
Wow.
Everybody keeps saying the Niners got lucky. Yeah, well, we did get lucky. Well, guess what? Luck is a part of football. It's an option. Balls bounce. The dude hit the ball in the Buffalo game on a 1-yard line. Who could imagine that happening? It go back for a touchback. It's a lot of luck involved, man. So cut the narrative with we got lucky. That was skill. 22 players coming together. They never done it before. Now they got the confidence to go ahead and win this Super Bowl, man, and beat the Lions.
Wow. Good call, Mike.
Dude, luck is winning the lottery.
Yeah. Well, I wish I knew what that was like.
I get mad when people say, "Oh, you're so lucky to play in the big leagues." No,
but you are.
Nothing lucky about it.
You are.
You're lucky to do this show. You busted your ass.
No, I believe that.
Do this show, dude.
But that's hey, Matt Dean, Odyssey, I love you. But MLB game, taking BP and you being one of the 1% like Top Gun.
Stop.
Oh, FP, come on.
Stop. I'll say this. And I've said this to my buddies, and I'll say it again. So gather around the radio right now and listen to my horse crap voice on the air. Championships are hard. Like, it's hard to advance. We think we were all nervous and we had anxiety. Guess what? Put your helmet on, buckle your chin strap, because this is what the playoffs are all about. It's not going to Niner fans want them to win by 40 and then beat the Lions by 40 and win the Super Bowl by 40. That ain't going to happen, man. This is the playoffs. There's going to be ups and downs. If you can't handle it, don't watch. Turn off the TV. But everyone's like, oh my God, the Niners suck. Oh my God, that was the worst game ever. They freaking won, bro.
Yeah,
They're
they
playing
did.
the NFC Championship this game. They're one win away from the Super Bowl and going to Vegas, and then another win away from a parade right here on Market
No doubt. And I want to, man, you're on fire. Let me
do
just.
an hour segment with my voice.
No,
can we take a break, dude? Can I come up for
it's
air?
coming.
Jeez.
It's coming. And, well, hey, I'll tell you this. Mike said the narrative. Tell me what you get. You give me 10 cents for this take. I don't want to call Kansas City the NFL version of the Chicago Bulls, but they are in the middle of what I call it, especially now with the salary cap, kind of a dynasty. The fact that they have 2 Super Bowls, doesn't the narrative kind of naturally change when you've done it before? So then when things happen that go your way that could be called a fluke, it's kind of like the Michael Jordan, well, he really didn't turn it over. We're the Bulls. We're known to come back. So when you do it more like the Chiefs have, more than the Niners, maybe you get that benefit of the doubt that, oh, the Niners were lucky he missed a kick. And Mike's right. The same thing happened with Buffalo, but that was something Kansas City did, if you kind of catch my drift.
Yeah, because they've been there, done that.
And that's all, a couple of times. But his point was valid.
But I mean, I think you take the Warriors in basketball out of it, because I think in basketball of all sports, it's just, you know, it's more the skill than the luck.
Okay.
Like, do you think an NBA
if you got the best players,
you're gonna win a championship?
9 out of 10 times.
But I think in baseball and football, luck's involved.
It's
man.
mental, man.
The best team doesn't always win the championship, especially in baseball.
Yeah.
And it happens in football too.
And that's why I
need a
Buffalo.
Ricola, dude.
Yeah, no, it's coming. Let's go out to one of my favorite cities, San Diego, and welcome Devin to the program. What's up, Devin?
Morning. Good morning, fellas. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir.
No, I just want to get at what FP was saying about playoffs. You know, with that, I want to say you watch these other games and you see these other teams. One thing I didn't see yesterday or 2 days ago was that playoff speed that these other teams are playing with. And I think that's a big thing I'd like to see from this team as we talk about the D-line. But with that said, you know, watching Ambry Thomas go out there, it reminded me of if you watch that Browns game, there was number 0 on their defense, Greg Newsome. Ambry Thomas did not look like he belonged in that league. He looked like a high school DB out there, and I'm not even talking about the PI call. So that's worrisome for me.
Wow.
The last take I got on that game, fellas, is what is going on? We had no rotation of backs. No Elijah Mitchell, no Mason, nobody. it was McCaffrey the whole game. I wanted to see a little mix and match to, see if we can bring a different take a couple plays.
Yeah, appreciate the phone call, Devin. I'll say this, McCaffrey only had 17 carries. I don't know if in a game that you described, FP, is messed up conditions and grimy, 24 total touches for McCaffrey. To me, that wasn't good enough. Kyle should have saw or known that the conditions were bad and his QB was having trouble with Glovegate. So you feed the beast more. But on top of that, I just felt like Kyle before halftime took his foot off the gas. Like, what was that about? Like, I felt like he was playing for a field goal as opposed to guns blazing. Let's get 7 here and did Nipsey Hussle, rest in peace, and double up and get a touchdown coming out of halftime. But he was very pedestrian. So that I didn't know if that maybe he was tightening up too.
He wasn't tightening up. He was watching what was going on. And he went back to like Jimmy G days where he's going to be conservative toward the end of the first half because he saw Brock Purdy and what was going on, same way we saw it. So instead of being a gunslinger and like just calling whatever play, and let's go for 7, let's go for 6, he decided to play for points in the field goal. I don't think McCaffrey was healthy. I don't think he's healthy.
Now that's interesting.
I think his calf is still jacked up, and he had the Theragun going on the sidelines the whole game.
When you see, like, FP, you know what? Because I thought about, had he been kind of PO'd, and the Niners do got a great culture. You never hear anybody complain in front of the cameras. But I'm like, you know what? If that was too much or not enough workload for him on that stage, we would hear something about it. And he kind of was okay with it. So maybe they know something we don't, because best believe, had they not, and they earned the bye, I don't know if McCaffrey plays if the Niners had to play in a wild card round the way that calf was feeling.
Let me put this to you. Everyone was saying you need to run the ball more and more McCaffrey. But if you just run McCaffrey every single play and on the Packers defense, and now Debo's out.
And they were pounding him.
So now I don't have to worry about one weapon's taken away. I can really focus on McCaffrey, lock him down, and make Brock Purdy beat me. And I think that's what they did.
Yeah.